Welcome to another episode of the Entrepreneur Experience Podcast, where I bring all the dopest entrepreneurs from the Bay and all over to introduce them to you because you're an entrepreneur. I got some information for you. A deal is a deal, right? You're here. You're not a hater because only haters watch YouTube videos and not subscribe to them. But you're not a hater, so you're going to subscribe to this channel, right? And then you're going to share it with a friend because sharing is caring, and we caring around
Absolutely.
here. But like every episode, I bring out the dopest people, and today I have someone that is a good friend of mine. Introduce yourself. Let people know who you are.
Yeah, why don't they?
Yeah.
Like, I'm CEO Miss Rickey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm Rickey, aka CEO Miss Rickey, also known as the cell phone trapper, a serial entrepreneur, and just a great, dope individual from the Bay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Definitely a serial entrepreneur.
Oh, Lord.
Listen. Okay. Rickey.
Can we
Why
just
you
ease
laughing?
into it?
I didn't even say nothing yet.
Okay.
No, okay. So CEO Miss Rickey. Where you from?
I'm from Oakland.
Oakland?
Born and raised. Yes. Currently living in Sacramento, but from the Bay.
Okay. How has life been for you growing up in Oakland just before you became an entrepreneur?
That is good because now I find myself like, in a sense, like Oakland is a little scary, but growing up there, it was like so bomb. Like I had a dope ass childhood. I had super cool friends. Schools was good. Teachers was good. But now, like, I'm like a boss. I'd be a little scared going to Oakland.
Yeah,
I'm like, listen, I'm in a rental car. I'm not pulling up on rims, no jewelry on, no Gucci bag, no none of that. Like, I'm dumbing it down when I come to Oakland. And it's a little scary. I mean, I still love my city, but where I'm going right now, it's not Oakland.
You know what? It's crazy is because when I moved to Pittsburgh, I bought my house and moved to Pittsburgh. I didn't want to at first. I'm like,
you like Pittsburgh? Yeah.
Well, I don't want to go nowhere.
Yeah.
But now that I'm there and live there, we can go back.
Same.
I go back to I work there, go back
Party
to visit,
there,
stuff like that. But it's just like coming home, it is peaceful. I ain't worried about nothing. Like, I like it.
Yeah.
And so that's definitely a good thing. In serial entrepreneur, what is the main thing that you do?
My main thing that I do is change lives. I like to sum it up as that. Preacher? No, I'm changing lives in a more financial way.
Changing lives with the bag.
Yes,
okay.
Because I like to say all the time, like 9 times out of 10, your problems stem from your income.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
A lot of people
money don't buy you happiness.
It does not. But I heard that the people that say that don't have enough money.
Yeah, because money would make me a little more happy right now, for sure.
Yeah, me too, right? I mean, if I was sick or had an illness or something like that, then maybe that's something that money couldn't fix.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like, I guess on like the superficial level, like our everyday lives, if you have money, if you're not like stressed out about your finances, living paycheck to paycheck, things are happening in your life. You can make things happen. You can reach your goals and all of those things. So every day is a little bit more brighter when your finances are in order.
I definitely agree with you.
Yeah.
So you're changing people's lives financially, but like how?
So I start with credit.
Okay.
The bulk of what we do when I say financial is credit. So we're stripping you down from the negative items on your credit report. That's late payments, charge-offs, collections, student loans, anything that would be stopping you from being able to use your credit for a financial gain.
Yeah.
So we start there. Once we, because I do have a team, so I'm saying we, because I don't want to be like I when I work as a team. So what we do, we clean the credit reports, we get our clients funding, and then we help them to use that funding to start businesses.
Okay. credit is important.
Yep.
It's not taught that much though.
At all.
So I definitely, in today's time, it is talked about more, right? I think me growing up or stuff like that, like I didn't know nothing about it. I got approved. Okay, I remember the first time I got approved for something. I got approved for a Best Buy card. I think I had to be like 18 or 19. I got approved for a Best Buy card for like a few $100. I was like, ooh.
I'm
I
rich.
immediately, the first thing I bought was Family Guy was like my favorite show.
Oh my God.
I bought some like the first 4 seasons of Family Guy DVDs, right? With that credit card. And then I didn't really trip off of it, but then it's like, oh, I gotta pay this shit back every month. And I think it like after like a month or two, like when it took elections.
Yeah.
And I was just, but I was 18. I've never been taught credit or anything like that. So I didn't fully understand it. And then I think it was like the 3rd month, I didn't have the money to pay it back or something. And I was just like, whatever, I ain't paying it.
Yep.
And then, I mean, obviously it's been a while, so it ain't on my credit report now. But then just even at the time, just think at 38, I was 18. That's 20 years. I could have still had that card and that shit would have been lovely.
That would be a really, really bomb ass straight line right now.
Right.
Yes.
Right. But I didn't know.
Yeah.
And it was like, but if I knew that, like that, so like, are you teaching your kids credit and all of that kind of stuff?
100%.
How do you do that? Like, so I'm trying to figure out how do I go about talking about credit to my daughter? Because, and I'll just be transparent with you, because I remember one time she's like, Dad, let me borrow some money to this. I'll pay you back, blah, blah, blah. And I let her get the money, and then she be doing like little side jobs and stuff, and she got her money back. And I was like, you gonna give me my money back? She's like, but Dad, like, you're really trying to get your money back from me? And I was like, yeah. And then she didn't give it back. And it happened like once or 2 more times. And then when she asked again, I was like, but your credit is bad with me.
That is the perfect example right there, right? You just laid out a whole real life scenario for her. I did it once. I did it twice. You burnt me. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
That's how your credit works.
And so I was telling her that, like, I'm like, but I'm not letting you borrow money again because you don't pay it back. I'm like, your credit is bad with me. I'm like, I don't believe you. Like, I don't believe your promises anymore because you done went back on them. So, I mean, I've tried to like explain that to her like that so she can understand. But like, how do you like would go about teaching a kid about it? So
with my daughter, of course, she sees us live this lifestyle and we do credit. I work from home, right? And the fact that we started credit in 2016, she was born in 2012. So it's definitely been a part of her, her whole life. However, I have started to make it plain to her because she does like to have nice things. And we had a conversation about a car. So she's like, when I turn 16, I just want to get a bucket. And I'm like, okay, because you're not getting, your first car is not going to be like a Maybach. So she's like, yeah, a Porsche. And I'm like, that's not a bucket. Like, you know what I mean? Wait. I'm like, yeah. So
Did
I'm
you
like,
said you want a bucket and the bucket was going to be a Porsche?
Yes. So I'm like, okay, girl, you crazy. So I'm telling her, like, you have to make it, to that level. So you got to start off with like a Honda or something like that first. And I said, and establish credit. So she was like, well, I can just get a credit card because you just have a credit card. So I'm like, that's not how it works.
Right.
With your fresh Social Security card or your fresh Social Security number, it's nothing there.
Yeah.
It's empty. It's nothing. It's not good or bad, but no credit is bad credit.
Right.
So then I go into, so you have to start off by adding small things to your credit, and then this builds it up. So boom, I give you $200. I give you a credit card for $200. It's a secure card because it's your own money. And she's like, well, then it's not a credit card. It's a debit card. I'm like, smart, but no. So we go into the process of a secure card, how that looks, how it works. And from there, you start to build up. I trust you now with this $200. Even though it was your own, you use it, you pay it back.
Right,
so you use $40, you maybe pay $30, and then so forth. So the more credit you get, the more you establish. She's still like, but the original car was my own. When do I get my money back? So I'm like, forget about that part.
Right.
Like, just understand that you have to get credit in order to use it. The more you're going to get is how you treat what you already had. So we go through little things like that. And then I use my card. I show her online, like, okay, so remember we went and whatever, we bought tickets to the movies. It was $60. I'm going to pay $40 of that back. I'm going to get that back on my card. You know, the balance is going to replenish. So that's how credit works. So she's like, oh, the more I spend, the more I get. And I'm like, kinda, but it's like once you use it, you get it back, you pay it, you get it back, and then they'll start to give you more. That's how you start to establish your credit. From there, with your car, because a Porsche is not a bucket, for one, right? But it's the same thing. You have to start off with this set of a car, this type of a car. Yeah. Then you go to the next car. So I'm telling her, remember we had a Toyota. Remember we had a little busted Lexus. Then we had an Acura truck. Then we went to a Jag. Then we went to a BMW. Like, so it's a process, right? Yeah, it's a process. So then she starts to understand a little bit more. But yeah, honey still wants.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. And so I asked that because I was just like,
but they don't teach you that in school.
No, they don't. No. And so my thing is just like, let me figure out how to teach my kids.
Yeah.
Shit, right? Okay. So when you go in, fix my credit, like what are some tips to help like build my
I love it. I would rather help people build their credit than to fix their credit.
Clean it,
yeah,
for sure.
So
for sure.
Right off the back, everyone has a place to stay. They have rent. So now we're in a really good place. There are tons of companies and they're rolling out new ones pretty much like every day that will take your rent payments and put it onto your credit, right? So one company in particular, Rent Reporters. So you pay your rent. You've been living there for 5 years. Now, what I will say is, even if you haven't been living there for 5 years, you can say that you've been living there for 5 years. What this does is it gives you 5 years of credit history because age matters. It gives you an open account that is reporting whatever you said your rent is. So if you say you pay $2,000 a month, now you have a $2,000 trade line or primary account on your credit report that's reporting. Is that 5 years that you said you lived at this particular place, you pay them like $9 a month or something like that to report. And now you have a line of credit that's reporting. Every time it reports on your credit, you're getting some small increase.
Right.
And you can do that with a couple different companies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. How did you get into this? Like, how did you get into credit? Like, what was
being
that
broke
like?
And with a 300 credit score? And
being broke.
You remember my line? I used to say, like, I couldn't even finance a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
But it really was that. Back in 2016, when I did leave from the Bay Area to come to Sacramento, I had Section 8. I could not find anyone to even take the Section 8 with bad credit. I'm like, it's Section 8. Like, y'all, what you thinking? I ain't got good credit. If I did, I wouldn't be on Section 8. So I had to have my grandmother co-sign for me. And she was pissed. She didn't want to do it. So from there, I'm just like, I have to figure out how to fix my own credit. Yeah. And like asking people, they like, you don't need no credit. Like, credit is only to buy gas and stuff like that, right? So this guy, this is a veteran. His name is Corey P. Smith. So me and my friend at the time, we got this book. And inside the book, he started giving us all types of gems on how to repair your credit. And at the time, like now, Instagram is full of credit repair. Yeah. YouTube, full of credit repair. TikTok wasn't even out, but it's credit repair tips is there too. So none of that was there. This is reading. Like we're actually flipping through the pages, figuring this stuff out, calling the credit bureaus. And it was a lot easier then. So like once I fixed my own credit and then my partner at the time fixed his credit, we're like, listen, let's start doing this because it's an entrepreneur mindset all the time. For sure. Like, let's start doing this for people. So we started with the family and we was only charging like $200 at the time. and then they tell somebody else tells somebody, and then it's like we going up on the price because it did start to be a lot of work once we started pulling in clients, and like a business was born at that time.
Out of that.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so bad credit, couldn't finance a cheeseburger.
Nope.
You like, let me fix my shit. And then after you start fixing it, you start helping other people, you start getting a bag from it. Cool. So then what's next after that? What's the next step in Rickey life? You help me fix my credit. Then what I do with it? What I do with good credit?
This is the good part. The funding. Right. So you got a good credit score. Like you don't want to just have an 800 and it's just sitting there. You don't want a 750 and it's just sitting there. Right. So we learned funding from this same guy. We learned funding. And it's like, okay, we can get high limit credit cards. You mean like $20,000 credit cards? Like what? So from one $20,000 credit card, we started figuring out that tons of credit unions will offer you the same thing that this one credit union. Yeah. And that's how our business came about, 100K the easy way, because it was like, okay, we can get you $100,000 easily and fast. So the business then was born with 100K the easy way. So we're getting funding now. We got credit cards, we got loans, we got all of this stuff. Still no financial literacy at that point. So it's like, I got a bag. I'm gonna just swipe this card for everything I want. And then it's like, no, let's start using it so that it can turn into more money. Yeah. From there, I did open like a small boutique. I was selling sunglasses. From there, the sunglass movement was a movement.
I remember your sunglasses.
Boutique. Yes. So, and that's why I say like entrepreneur at heart, like serial entrepreneur, because in my mind, I'm always thinking I'm not going to work for nobody. Like I need to make some money for myself. So from sunglasses and the online boutique came Airbnb. I took the money, I used one of my credit cards and invested in a course. It was $10,000. And this guy showed me how
10K?
10K.
Wait, so I'm sorry. I didn't want to cut you off, but you took 10K, invested that in yourself and buying a course so you can learn about Airbnb?
Yep. And this wasn't even a one-on-one course. This was like a few like group sessions and an online like platform. So you can go on there and self-pace your way to success. Now, granted, if I said that the information wasn't worth the 10K, I would be lying. It 100% was worth it. But I kind of filled in the blanks and figured out my own thing. Yeah. But I took credit and invested in that course. Also used the credit to get a property, stage the property, and grow from there. I went from one Airbnb unit to 10 in a year's time, in a 1 year period of time by leveraging my credit.
One Airbnb to 10, right? That's a lot. Yep. That's a lot. And are your Airbnbs local? They out of state?
So when I first started doing my first year, they all were in Sacramento. So now I do have them out of state. And being able to leverage credit is how I'm able to do it. Flights, help getting, furniture in and out, that type of thing, buying the furniture itself. Everything is pretty much on credit. Yep. For sure. The money comes in and I pay the cards off.
Okay. So money is a tricky subject, right?
Sure.
And credit, giving people your social security, having to fix your credit, all that kind of stuff. I remember I didn't have good credit. I don't think I got good credit now. But before, I really didn't have good credit. And I had to go through a company to have them fix mine. So I was able to buy my house, right? And I went through the process and it definitely got stuff off. I had to do deals and pay the credit companies a consolidation. A consolidation. I had to pay the fee that I owe, but we worked out a deal. I didn't have to pay the whole thing, but if I paid this certain amount of percent, that they had to then give me a letter and said that if I pay that they'll take this off my credit because I needed it off, so I was able to buy my house. So I went through that, but the before I did it, I was scared to do it, giving somebody my information because you hear a lot of people getting scammed and all of that kind of stuff. And when you hear it, you just like, I don't want it to be me. How has that narrative like affected like your business or you or just, just in general?
So literally just this morning, because I'm not too big in my business where I don't take calls and talk directly to my clients. So I was on a call with somebody this morning and he said the same exact thing. Like, how do I know that his thing was, how do I know that you're not going to steal my identity?
Yeah.
And I just said, like, first of all, you got bad credit. Like, let's just start there. It ain't nothing to steal. But secondly,
that's hella funny.
I hear because I mean it's for real. Like, you ain't got nothing to steal. You ain't got nothing to steal. Secondly, like exactly what I told him. I said, listen, I like to walk around proud. I'm on social media every day. I'm advertising. It's word of mouth about the services that I offer. I've been doing it for a long time. I'm not into scamming. Just because I make some good money doing what I do. Like, I want to provide you with a good service so you can tell your sister if she has bad credit. And then they come back. So it's just a cycle. However, Instagram is filled with fakes and flaws. Yes. Right? So I understand where he was coming with it. And I'm like, all I can do is tell you to check my receipts. Yeah. Maybe ask around. Like, I post a lot of content and I have a free community. So if you don't trust me to do the work for you, join the free community and do it yourself.
Check us out.
Yeah.
Okay. That's dope.
Yeah.
That's good. So credit repair, Airbnb. So you said you have a community.
Yes.
Okay. What is this community?
So the community is the 100K the Easy Way community. It's a credit restoration community. There's a lot of like-minded individuals in there. We all got bad credit, or they all got bad credit, because I don't. But it's tips and tricks in there for you to be able to DIY yourself to success. Because, like, if you don't have the dime, you got to have the time. So you got to either be able to pay somebody or you got to do it yourself. So the information is in there. I have the free community. It's 100% free. I'm not charging anything to be in there. You send me a DM, say 100K, you automatically get a link and join the community, right? When you're in there, there's the tips. Call the credit bureaus, get online and dispute with the credit bureaus, the CFPB, all of the information is there. You just have to take the time out to get in there and implement the information. And people are lazy. They don't do it. So they'll go in. I'm not the type. And they'll try, halfway, I would say, try one thing on there. And then they see like, okay, it's more hard than I thought. Thank you for putting this community together. Do you offer a done for you service? Yeah. So even though it's a free community, they circle back and I make money.
I'm definitely the like done for you type of guy.
Yeah, me too.
Because number one, I'd rather spend money than the time. But then also, I mean, just from outside looking in, that shit looks like it's a lot of work.
And it is. And I love when people try to negotiate the price, for one. And then I'm like, my price is my price. And it took me a while to get there. But like, my price is my price. Get inside the community, try it. And then if it doesn't work, then let's talk about it. Yeah. Before I even can reach out to them to see how they doing, they're like, okay,
it's too much.
I can't do this. You got to do what? I got to type up a letter. I got to do da-da-da-da-da. Nope. I don't want to do it. I just want to pay you. Do you offer a payment arrangement? And I'm like, you ain't paid a creditor, but you want me to, okay,
Right. Like, your history of paying people ain't
it ain't strong.
So you ain't about to use me. Okay, cool. Let's I appreciate that. Let's kind of let's go a little deeper. Okay. Let's go a little deeper. I just kind of want to hot seat you.
Okay. Put me on fire.
You sure?
You know me.
You gonna still be my friend
after this,
right?
I came prepared. No, when I came in, I was like, maybe I should take a shot. I'm ready.
No. Okay, so I do want to ask this because I rocks with you.
Yeah.
And you are somebody that I care about because I rocks with you.
Yeah.
I know that you have a community and you teach people Airbnb.
Mm-hmm.
And as someone, we work together as coaches and stuff like that. I know as a coach, people will expect more from you than what you offer. And so how is that as far as like working with someone or having a client or a student that's not satisfied with your work,
mm-hmm.
but you've done the work in a sense? Okay, just transparency. As me and you work together, we've had students,
Yep.
right? Students you work with, I had a conversation with a student
mm-hmm.
and they were upset with you.
Yep.
In them being upset with you, I'm like, I don't know you guys' conversation. I don't know how it went,
mm-hmm.
but I know, and this is, I'll say this. I'm like, I know Rickey offers when you join her stuff that she'll get you Airbnb.
Yep.
Don't you got one? She was like, yeah.
She got 2, actually.
And then it was like, okay.
Let's put that on the map.
You got 2.
Yep.
Right? In her having 2, I guess something went wrong with the second one. And so now she was like dissatisfied with the services and was just like unhappy with that because whatever transpired didn't work out in her favor.
Absolutely.
And because it didn't work out in our favor, the conversation that was brought to me was that, oh, you said you was going to do X, Y, and Z,
mm-hmm.
and you didn't do it. I don't know what happened as far as that, but I mean, I hear one side of the story,
mm-hmm.
and like, I can't tell this person or nothing because I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
I'm like, and I'll be transparent. I'm like, from what I know, Rickey offers, she'll get you an Airbnb and you got 2. Yep. So that's what she did.
Job well done.
Job well done. And so it's like, so I don't know what else you expected. How do you handle that? Like, what is that like? How do you handle that? Because someone can feel so strong about their feelings and what they
Absolutely.
feel. And it's like, how do you handle that? Because if someone watching this, they be like, I want to get into it, or I want to hire you, or they could be her friend and they be like, oh, this, or someone they want to get into coaching, and then they don't know how to handle situations like that. Like, talk to me.
So I love that you brought that up because mm-hmm. we've worked together.
Yes.
So you know that I'm gonna pour into whatever it is that we're doing, right? So inside of the community, mm-hmm. the Airbnb community, there was done for you. Not only am I going to find the property for you, I'm going to make sure that it's a profitable unit. I'm going to help you secure the unit. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give you all of the information that you need to stage and get your systems together and all of that. Right? I never guarantee 2 properties. Your first property is what you get. This particular individual, okay, you have a problem with some systems in the classroom, which you have a network on this same platform mm-hmm. where you can go in and you can kind of see exactly what these people are doing inside the community. Have you watched the videos? Have you actually been through module 8, the same question that you're calling me to ask, right? So that's that. Then it's like, how do you expect me to provide you this service for a lifetime for this amount of money? So mm-hmm. as the client, you have to be realistic as well, right? The mentorship was for 6 months. So for 6 months, you come in, you get this information that's laid out to you in a well-created course with videos, mm-hmm. not a ton of reading. It's not a hell of ebooks on there. It's videos where I'm actually on the website like, hey, click here, go here, do this, do that, right?
Right.
Besides that, I delivered you the property on a platter, okay? Mm-hmm. So now, besides that, we have class every Wednesday. Mm-hmm. So I even started incorporating classes on Sunday because I know people got kids, Wednesday, work, life, everything. And then I was having fun with it. So when we're bringing in Sunday classes, it's not even a problem. Like, I do this on a regular basis.
Right.
I'm not a coach that's just making money from coaching. I actually have properties. So I'm coming with the good, bad, and the ugly and in between as well. So when this person came to me, I was a little bit upset because it's like, you want lifetime coaching. No coach is going to give you lifetime access. Like I said, when we first started, I paid $10,000 for the information that I was giving up at a fraction of the cost. Right. Then it was like, don't start to slander my character, because that's where it starts. I'm human.
Yeah.
Okay. But I am very professional. I'm very friendly. I'm very fun. So this is why this same individual was in this program past 6 months. I never start handing out eviction notices like, okay, it's over, it's time to go, right? So because you were spoiled in a sense, you were expecting so much more, which was fine. We was vibing. It was cool. It's no problem with you being here because you're also a walking testimony for the new people that are joining. Because at one point in time, you were very much so satisfied with the services and you were bringing in other people. She brought in her sister. Her sister got in. She also got a property. So now that things don't go in your favor, now you're mad. However, like I said, we're all human. So, and I'm me at the end of the day. I'm CEO Miss Rickey, but listen, I'm Rickey. Yeah. Okay? I'm Rickita. Actually,
you ain't Rickey no more. You Rickita.
Yeah, because it's like, name. Listen, baby, I changed your life for real. I gave you exactly what you wanted and more. So respect me on that level. Let's talk about it. Then I'm like, okay, maybe not. Let's not talk about it because my business is still thriving.
Yeah,
my units are still going. Right. The information that you want from me, I can help you out, but talk to me nice.
Yeah.
Because that's how I am. And you know, we didn't have conversations about this. Like, you got to get off the phone with these clients. You're pouring too much into them.
Definitely had that conversation before.
That's me all the time.
Definitely 15-minute conversation turned into an hour if you're giving advice and help.
And you got my personal cell. You're texting me. You're calling me. After we got off of class, you're calling me. You know what I mean? So it was a little, like I said, I'm human. So I was in my feelings about it because I'm like, I'd be damn if you got mad is one thing, but now you telling him, her, and she that I did, something that you and I both know that wasn't the case because you have 2 units.
Yeah.
You have 2 properties under my guidance. Give me my respect.
Yeah.
So when it's the opposite of that, and that was just one person, I literally have no other, as far as Airbnb goes, I didn't have some mad credit clients. As far as Airbnb go, that particular person out of 40 individuals that I help get a successful business of Airbnb started off the ground in another state, not where you live at.
Yeah, in another state.
Under my guidance in another state to where you was making enough money to where you wanted to make a second decision to start, right? Under my guidance. So it's like when I got in my feelings, I got right out. Because it's like, I'm her. Really her.
Okay.
And I'm not going to, put some respect on it.
Put some respect on it. Okay.
Yeah.
I and you know what? And I had to ask you that because I wanted to, number one, clear the air.
I'm glad you did that.
I'm nosy.
Yeah. And I reached out to you too. Because I'm like, listen, you the bridge between us. Not like the bridge, but like you're a mutual friend. For sure. You know what I mean? And I'm like, you know me better than that. Yeah. So let me give you my side of the story, even if you didn't want it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it's just like, I just wanted to be like, because not in a picking sides situation, but I mean, it's just like if one person tell a story, the other person have the right to tell theirs.
Absolutely.
Right? Because anybody in general, when they tell their story, they're always going to more than likely tell their story to make it fit them. Yep. Because nobody wants to be the bad guy.
Yep.
And so I was just like, and we talked, and I was like, we gonna have I was like, I'll call you. We'll talk. And with that conversation never happened. But I'm like, well, shit, we on the podcast.
We in the hot
We might
seat.
as well just have it here, but then also have it here. So therefore it go public. So if anybody else see it,
absolutely,
they'll know what's
Y'all
up.
know what it is.
We know what it is.
Rickey did
right?
her big one.
Because it's so funny because after that, like, you start posting like, I'm her.
Yeah.
I do this, I do that, I got this.
Yeah.
I was like,
and I never, you know what I mean? Like, I was talking with somebody and they was saying, like, you don't really have to be humble. Like, why do you have to be humble when you work hard? You know what I mean? Like, when you really do what you do, you don't have to be humble. And I said, let me come out of a humble moment and like,
for sure.
Yeah, baby, let me post the receipts because I'm no longer doing Airbnb mentorship because I've moved on from that. However, I'm still her. I'm still the GOAT. I still do ... I still just acquired 2 units in 1 month. Let me show you, right? And I gave you the game.
Yeah.
I'm still her.
Yeah.
I'm still from the Bay.
For sure.
So, yeah, I will be Rickey, but at the same time, yeah, I'll do that. I didn't get disrespectful or anything like that, but baby, put some respect on my name. I
haven't got into it, but I've definitely like still think about doing Airbnb, right? Me and Cam was talking about it. I think he was telling me that he got a Airbnb property or something. I'm not sure. But, you know, it's obviously people still renting out Airbnbs and still making money, right?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. Well, let's kind of go into something else. Rickey, you hurt my feelings.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Pause the video. No, go ahead. Let's do it.
You hurt my feelings. Okay, so I'm gonna say this, and there's no way. And I'll say this. And I'm now working with Dari, but I have to tell her the same thing, right? So for those of you who don't know, we have a group called the Entrepreneur Members Club, right? Mm-hmm. Me and Dari started it, and then I felt like, all right, like I'll tell Dari, like, I think Rickey should be with us because she's so dope, blah, blah, blah. I think we'd be a good trio. And in us being a good trio, we start running EMC. Yeah. Teaching it and all of that kind of stuff like that, doing like events. We were planning stuff, but not actually executing it. So I will say, like, we were the people that had these big dreams and we're like, we gonna do this, and we start planning shit and start doing that. But then we like dropped the ball and never actually. I remember we was gonna put on the event, right? I can't remember what we was gonna call it, but I remember we had the flyer made and we was gonna do it, but then just like not did it.
Yeah,
and then we last year or the year before, I think it was last year. Last year around this time, Christmas time, we took a break. Yeah. Well, not me, but it was like everybody taking a break. Like, oh, it's Christmas time, holiday time, shutting down, all of that. And then it was time to come back, and then nobody ever came back. You and Dari never came back.
Yeah.
I cried.
So I felt bad too. And then another part of me was just like, not like I'm so money driven, but I had my own community too. Mm-hmm. And I was doing my classes on Wednesday. We was doing our classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I was rolling out then the vending machine mentorship as well.
Sure.
So it was like, I started back doing credit repair. It just was like, it was bad timing. And then for us, like 3 heads together, and we still was kind of forgetting what we needed to do in a sense. Mm-hmm. So it was like, I honestly felt like it was going to come to a close. I'm like, okay, at the beginning of the year, we're probably not going to, be doing anything. And kudos to you for still holding it down, because that's, you're honest, like you're good at that, right? It wasn't even like anything that was planned. It was just like my own thing kind of started to take off. Mm-hmm. And it was just like, I was happy for myself. I'm like, okay, I didn't even know how much like not being available for those Tuesdays and Thursdays actually meant. I'm like, okay, my Tuesdays and Thursdays is free. Now I can pour into this community, and I am making a ton of... Remember, I had just moved So I had that going on too.
You definitely had your
life was life heavy.
And I will say this, and I'll just I was never mad.
I know, because we still stay connected.
Yeah, I fucks with you and Dari the long way, always, right? And life was life for both of y'all.
Yeah.
Right? It was like...
And you started to turn into the therapist.
And so it was not to put people's business out there, but it was just like separations and divorces and all of that type of shit going on. And so it was a lot going on. And so I understood it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't mad about it, but it just we built... I think it was just more so of just we built bonds. We had we had business retreats.
We did
and stuff like that. Business retreats where we spent a whole weekend together at your Airbnbs.
At the Airbnb,
right?
Yep.
And that stuff like that was really fun. And
it was.
In this realm of entrepreneurship can be really lonely.
And you don't want to do it by yourself.
And I know I have this community of entrepreneurs, and the same thing of me and Cam that we talk about is I'm the person that everybody goes to, and I don't really have anybody else to go to. So everybody's coming to me and kind of taken in a sense, right? Withdrawing. And it's just okay, who do I talk to when I have a business problem?
Valid feelings.
And I think that having you two just was a aha for me, right? And then when life started lifing and it just kind of went away, I think it was just more so of dang, I miss y'all.
Yeah.
That was more of my feeling. I dang, where y'all at? I miss y'all.
Yeah. And even for me, it was just dang, I'm pouring, I'm here, right? And then it was... I even felt the same way. If I was to reach out for some information after things didn't go as planned, I'm dang, is Terry gonna be mad? Is Dari gonna be mad? She left too. I left. He's still doing it. He started it. You know what I mean? I started to justify it to myself. It was his community to begin with. You know what I mean? So I didn't really feel like it was any bad blood. But as friends, when you start to do business together, those type of things happen. Another thing that I think kind of went wrong with us is we needed operating agreements, right? When you start to do business with somebody, because I had a situation like this with another partner that I was doing Airbnb with. We didn't from the gate lay out exactly what needs to be done by which person, and even who's going to handle this bill or who's going to handle this payment or invoice or whatever the case may be. So those are all things too that need to be laid out.
Yeah,
that's the reason why you have operating agreements in business.
You are 100% true.
But at the end of the day, we here.
Yeah.
So
Come on.
Boom,
always,
right?
Always.
And then I started to reach back out because I'm I got some social media information. When I be Terry, how do you make the video play for longer than 2 minutes? I'm I can't figure this out. So, and I remember one time I was going to reach out and I'm damn, I'm about to just see if this you hate me now or what, you know what I mean? Because we was already friends before EMC.
Right.
And I'm let me go ahead and break the ice because I don't want no smoke. But at the end of the day, life was life, and you know it was.
Yeah, for sure.
And then me and Dari was going through our man problems. And we ain't like men.
Yeah.
So we ain't like you. Just to put that out there.
It was an F-hard type of situation. I feel that.
No, I don't want to talk to no man. I ain't about to be sitting on this camera trying to act like I like any man right now. You know what I mean? That type of thing. But life was life.
That's I do want to say that you did point out something I think every entrepreneur needs to understand, and that is when whether they're your friend or not, when you are starting to do business with people, it has to be a layout of who does what
for sure
and how that work. And we didn't do that. We was just going off vibe.
Yep.
in a sense, right? We
was ping ponging off of each other, and it was making magic.
Yeah, for sure.
Even after the calls, we would be on the calls for 2 hours.
We'll just be us three just talking and stuff like that. And I think it just was like really built the bond for us. And for me, it's like you said, I did start the community, and it was just like, I mean, we no matter what, we hustlers. We gonna get the job done, right? So it was like the business gonna business. We gonna make it happen no matter what. Yeah. I think for me it was just business. I just missed y'all. Yeah. And I think that was for me. Yeah. Right. Because like I said, I didn't have that, and you two are very smart. You two are very smart business wise. Dari is now principal, right? Real principal, right? And doing her thing. Your dreams came true, right? You always done your thing and your serial entrepreneurship, and it's just us three together was just like really a good match. It was a good match, and then when it just went away, it was just like, damn, where my people at?
Yeah, and then I think too, it was like a lot of emotion involved in it because of like what was going on with life. But we definitely did make magic. Like the calls used to be lit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And we played a part that nobody could duplicate for either person. And it matched so well. Yeah. When I think back on it, like if some of the problems that we was facing wasn't there and we had those agreements in place and we knew exactly where we was going, we put more systems in place to make sure we actually made those things happen, it would still be, sure. I mean, you're killing it. You're still doing your thing, right? You own that lane. Like that's your thing. So when I look at it, like when I tune in, it just be like, okay, like Terry's still holding it down as he's supposed to. Yeah. But I just think that it was just like, it was a bad timing. Yeah. And for me, is 100% no bad blood. Oh. Like, I haven't talked to Dari in a while, but I see her online and I know she's doing good. I'm like, look at Dari killing it in love and you know what I mean? Doing her thing. This is what she wanted. That is right? Definitely what she wanted. Look at you. You got the podcast. You still holding down your community. Like you're owning your lane and putting on events and stuff like that. Like you're doing good. Not saying like everything has an end date, but eventually
it does. Right? Nothing goes forever.
Forever.
Right? And I think in partnerships that people do have to understand what I've learned. And we like kind of rock with the same circle as far as like mentorships. Like we rock with people that rock with the people. And so they say the same stuff. And one of the things that they say about in partnerships or in business that you have to talk about the exit plan or what it looked like when you guys are going to separate. Yeah. And I think that most people are afraid to have that conversation. Yeah. They're afraid to have that conversation because they think like, oh, it ain't going to happen to us. Yeah. But then it's just like, it always happens.
Yeah, that's like in a marriage. You'd be like, oh, I don't need a prenup until
you do. Right? Until you do. Right. And always half your money gone. Right. But it's just like those conversations has to happen. Yeah. Right. What's going to happen? Like this conversation, like we need to sit down like, okay, what did it look like when we separate? Yeah. Who gets what? Who does what? Right? What does it look like when things don't go right? Or what does it look like when I outgrow you or you outgrow me and we're just now going different. We now have different paths or different things that we want to do. What does that look like? And I think that's very important for people to understand when you are going into business with other people because it's not talked about.
Yeah, whether it's your friend or not.
You have to have some type of conversation of like, all right, what did it look like when it ends? And that's important because if you don't have that conversation and it's coming to an end, there's going to be bad blood between you two because you didn't have that plan in place.
For sure.
So thank you for that. Thank you. For that.
We needed that little clarity.
That was do you have any what's up with Ricky? You got anything going on? Anything coming up? Like
I have an event tomorrow that I'm doing with Jennifer.
I just seen Jen. Yeah. I seen her like Wednesday.
I'm doing an event with Jen tomorrow, talking to some ladies of all different walks of life about their finances and stuff like that. I just recently started the independent living services company.
Okay.
So yeah, still within my range of changing lives, right? So that is going really, really good right out the gate. I started getting clients. I was like, oh my God, I ain't even hired nobody. Like I wasn't expecting it to go that good, but the universe be universing.
It do.
And I feel like because I do good business, like good things continue to happen to me.
For sure.
And it makes me want to be even more great to the people that pour into me and support my businesses and pay me for services. I'm gonna make sure that, you know, you get the best of your money, because it just keeps coming back. Yeah. Still doing vending machines. It's stuck on me. I'm like, who wants a vending machine route? Just DM me on Instagram. See you on Miss Rickey, okay? I'm so over it, but like I'm still doing that. And like I'm just waiting.
We can put some vending machines at my job.
Yeah, please, let's do it. Okay. And then you just okay, let's talk about that after the show.
For real, we can make that happen.
Yeah, so credit repair still, funding business. I just came back from Miami for a funding seminar. I'm still in the classroom. I don't know everything. I want to know everything. So if there's something new that's out, I am there, always investing in myself. So that was lit. I never been to Art Basel before, but that was crazy. I will be going next year.
Oh, you went to that?
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard about that.
Yeah,
I want to go
it was
so bad.
I'm like, I don't want to do no seminars doing Art Basel. Like, I'm trying to be out here lit, but I had to get the information. Yeah. So I missed the first couple days of it, but it was nice. And
we need to plan for that next year.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go next year.
No, for sure. It was fun. It was fun. And momming on another level. I'm a grandma now.
Granny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm still the same Rickey. Just always into my bag. Always just trying to keep my information flowing and updated.
Okay.
Yep.
So if someone wanted to reach you, what is the best way?
I would say Instagram.
Okay.
CEO.Miss Rickey, and it's MSRICKIE. CEO.Miss Rickey. You can find me there. All of my services that I offer is there. I'm not doing any like real coaching right now, but I do have online communities available for most of the services that I offer. I'm thinking about running it back because I think I have a thing for it. Like somewhere along the lines, I just have to make sure I ain't getting burnout syndrome. Yeah. And nobody has my phone number. But yeah.
Okay.
I want to pour back into some people soon.
Okay, good. Well, I thank you for coming on. I thank you for being able to have this conversation. No, I didn't give you no pre-written questions or nothing, but I feel like you knew I was going to ask you
I did.
You did.
Yeah.
Okay.
The hot seat was already hot
before
it was
I
sat in it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you. I'll put your Instagram in the bio and all in the description so people, can get it.
Yes.
So everybody, I appreciate y'all for tuning in to this episode of the Entrepreneur Experience Podcast. We will see you later. Peace.